Alright, so for the past hour and a half I had some technical difficulties with my streaming. First, I subdivided the model in the, gave it too much polygons, and the whole thing crashed. Then I did a reprojection, and this hogged all my processing power, and streaming crashed. So this is all behind, and hopefully I'll be able to start this Sculpting Dinosaurs stream number 8, and we can begin adding details on our Dinosaurus head. So I'll just quickly go over some of the points that I made during the technically imperfect and bad beginning. So the shoebill bird is going to be our main inspiration in terms of keratinous tissue, and in recreating a beak structure for our Dinosaurus model. So these flaking bits are a perfect example of what I'm looking for for our model here, and hopefully we'll successful in translating these details onto our model. So hopefully we've put all these technical gremlins behind us, and we'll have a normal stream session as of now. Just quickly turn on Lazy Mouse. To be able to sculpt these creases a little bit more precise. Let's try and decrease our lazy radius a little bit. Not too good still. All right. So basically what the Lazy Mouse is doing, it's helping us keep our line straight. And if you take a look and see how it works without the Lazy Mouse option, it's just it's really difficult to achieve smooth crease. You can see it. Just all these tiny irregularities happening during the stroke, and this is where our Lazy Mouse is helpful. We can enable it, and there's a shortcut key. It's L, I think. It's by default. ZBrush, enabling and disabling the Lazy Mouse feature. So yeah, I think this one turned out pretty well. So yeah, I was thinking about what I need to do in order to, bring my streaming like ability to a higher level, and I should probably, I would probably have to. I would probably have to buy a dedicated hardware for streaming. So as to to remove the streaming like the streaming process from my CPU. So basically, the last thing that happened was I pressed reproject on ZBrush, and it started hogging my CPU for this particular action, and my stream application ran out of memory, and it crashed. So I'd probably have to buy a streaming hardware for these things, and I'd avoid all these crashes for the stream application. And the other thing that I mentioned would be I would have to probably try and introduce some sort of scheduling system where I would be able to announce streams like at least half a day or one day ahead, to be able to give people the opportunity to maybe plan their schedules if they'd like to join live stream. So these are the things that I'll have to work on if I want these streams to become a little bit better. At the moment, they're good. For the thing I'm doing is good for YouTube, and for like whoever wants to view it offline. I mean, like recorded event. looking for a trim dynamic. There it is. Trim Dynamics is a fun brush. It helps you trim all the bullshit from the model. Exactly. I need to work on my Arnold Schwarzenegger impression as well. Jesus, I need to work on so much aspects. I need to work on my streaming abilities, my Arnold impressions. I need to work on my sculpting abilities, my dinosaurs. It's so hard. There's a motivational speech from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Basically, the last rule probably, nails it. Like, you shouldn't be sleeping at all. The rule number 6, you should only be sleeping 6 hours a day. Let me turn on auto masking, black face, to try and avoid some of the issues later on with unintentionally deforming mesh on the other side of on what's going on right now. So good. Let me try again. Okay. Still not there. Not sure why it's doing this. Alright. It was the lazy step option. You should decrease it to avoid your lazy mouse creating all these little dots instead of a line. So if you're struggling with achieving a smooth line with lazy mouse, just increase the lazy smooth lazy smooth and lazy radius. Just increase it, and it will be easier to maintain the smoothness of the line. And you just have to pull your stroke gently and still not have it the way you want it. Okay. I'm actually not even sure whether I want this crease along the beak edge. Yeah, I think I'll hold off of that for the time being. Let me take my track brush and start working on scales all over again. Alright. So for the soft tissue of Dinosaurus, we'll have some sort of scales, small scales, and then we have to try and nail the transition from the soft tissue to the keratinose structure that's covering the beak. I'm not sure about the size of the scales on our Dinosaurus right now. I think we need to decrease them a little bit. hence I'll have to undo what I've just created. So yeah, this is a good thing to maybe realize. It's nothing bad if you have to go back and redo some of the stuff. You know, don't be afraid to undo your work. If you feel that you can, you know, improve, that you can do it better, just, you know, go for it and start over. But I'm still lacking polygons, so I'll probably, no, I'm not sure what to do. I'll probably have to go and divide HD, maybe. Trying to figure out what to do to get more polygons. Let's see what happens if I press A. Okay, so our high definition mesh is ready. Yeah, this is a lot better. Although I'll have to decrease the number of polygons in the HD preset, so to have our ZBrush behave like becomes a little bit more responsive. Wait a second. So we have to go to our memory HD preview number, and we'll decrease it to, I guess this, okay, 16 million polygons. It'll enable us to, you know, work faster and still use HD feature. So I pressed my A key on my keyboard. It's a shortcut to turn your model into HD mesh. Alright, so I did it, and it doesn't appear like a whole lot faster. Let me try and reduce the polygon number a little bit more. So we go to our preferences, we will reduce it to, let's say, 11 million polygons. Let's reduce this thing as well. No, we cannot reduce this because, or we can. Let's try. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to effectively mask off the area that I want affected with my HD A button. Alright, and that's exactly what happened right now. So the brighter mesh is now subdivided to our maximum number of polygons, and let me try and turn on transparency. Alright, it doesn't do anything to improve our responsiveness of our ZBrush application. Never mind, we're going to dig in. Alright, so I wanted to create smaller scales on our eyelids. Excuse me. This should work a little bit better, but I will only be able to see how it feels and looks when I lay down, you know, a little bit bigger patch of skin. So we need to take our time and, you know, carefully lay down these scales. We shouldn't be, because, you know, the more you rush it, the faster you make it, the more mistakes you're gonna make, and the sloppier your scale work is going to turn out to be. So what you want to do is, you know, take your time and, you know, do it slowly. Sorry. Also, one other thing that like is good maybe to do while you're making these strokes and applying scales. You should try and avoid pulling the stroke straight like I'm doing right now, because the scales turn out to be too uniform and too straight and too artificial. I mean, some of the straightest and mathematically aligned scales are coming from reptiles like snakes and some lizards and stuff, and they're like super straight and super geometrical and super precise. But generally, to create an illusion of natural design, natural scale distribution, you should try and do these things, like deviate from the path a little bit, then return to your path, and regulate your scale size with your pen pressure. So as you can see, if I press it a little bit more, my scales are growing, they're increasing in their size, and if I decrease my pressure, the scales are smaller. So you should do all these actions to try and get a little bit more randomized scales, and hopefully make it look a little bit more plausible, believable, realistic, like so. Okay, so this is probably a good idea to start and create some creasing, some folding around the eye. Let me just go into lazy brush and decrease the radius. Radius, yeah. Also, we need to be careful not to overcook it, not to do too much, like I did right now. So, you know, there's nothing wrong in, you know, sometimes keeping your surfaces sort of clean, because that's also what happens in nature. You know, some surfaces of like some animals, like, you know, reptiles and stuff, are they don't necessarily have to be, like, you know, riddled with creases, and, you know, just trying to create so many, like, details. You know, you have to sculpt every muscle have to be obvious and has to be seen, and that's not what happens in nature. It's like, you know, animals have fat. Animals sometimes have smooth skin, like, you know, with barely noticeable scratches and skin imperfections or whatever, you know, structures are occurring on you know, animal skin. So you shouldn't, you know, be afraid of clean surfaces as well. And yet I keep doing these creases. What the hell is the matter with me? Also, guys, I'm planning to run this stream for it's going to be a 3-hour stream, this part that we are doing right now. So we're live for 37 minutes according to the stream application, and we're going to, you know, be live for about 2.5 hours more, and then I'm going to take a break. I need to eat something. I need to do some errands. I have a plan to take my dog on a dog beach. We have a dog beach nearby, and I need to take our dog to, you know, for a swim and to have some fun with her. And I'll return later in the day during the evening hours, and I'll do another 2 hours or so, part 2, stream number 8, where I plan to continue working on this model, and also I plan to I'll read some descriptions and some bits from the Mike Kelly's book, the World of the Super Predator, the World of Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm going to read some bits from the chapter about Dino Kairos, and I'll probably show you guys a video that I recorded of me being sort of attacked by turkeys, and that should be fun. So, and also, you know, worry not if you miss it. It's going to be available on YouTube channel, you know, later on. Oh, DVZ TV Newman, hello, hi there. I haven't seen your message. I'm sorry. I was taken away by work. Thank you. Thanks for putting out the word. That's so kind of you. Thanks for doing that. Really appreciate that, and really happy to see you again here with us live. So I began the stream like almost 2 hours ago, and I experienced all sorts of technical issues, and there was a lot of crashes. ZBrush crashed on me and became unresponsive. My streaming application crashed. So yeah, it was like a relatively bad beginning to a day and to my streams, but we're back, stronger than ever. Hopefully we'll stay like that. So, you know, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or so they say. I'm not sure if I completely agree on that saying, but I guess there is something to it. Whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. And then you're like, pressed with a couple 100 tons of, machine that, presses metal, and you're no longer, well, at least the Terminator. Hold on. What I wanted to do is, all right, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's a legend. I love watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I love impersonating him. I'm not the, I'm not so good at it, but I'm learning, constantly learning how to get better at, at his voice, impersonating his voice. Yeah. So Arnold, are you with us? Affirmative. What do you want from me? So what do you think about this saying that whatever doesn't kill us makes us better? I think it's bullshit. And let me tell you why. Because let's say you're walking around on the field and you step on the landmine and it blows your legs away and you survive somehow. And now, after you go through the medicals and the hospital and whatever, you're without your legs. And how does it make you better? You're not complete, So I don't understand. I think that's bullshit. Yeah, okay, Arnold. I think we've got your point. But maybe you cannot apply the saying to everything, in your life. Your example is radical. Yeah, but you cannot be sugarcoating. You have to be honest, and you have to, whatever. Come on, this is too many questions. This is bullshit. We need to hit the gym. Come on. All right, Arnold. We won't ask you too many questions anymore. I really like you guys, so I'm going to kill you last. Yeah, that's Arnold showing his affection. Yeah, this is the the track. It's a regular track brush that I tweaked a little bit and added my custom alpha. And I think I'm not sure. I forgot whether it was the stream number 6 or stream number 7 where I covered that. Someone asked me how do you know. Basically, someone asked the same question, and I went on and showed how to create your own custom alphas and how to tweak your track brush. So if you guys missed that, you can try and search it. Again, I'm not sure. I think it's not stream number 6, but I cannot promise you that. So and all these streams are relatively lengthy, like 4 or more hours of material. So you'll have to scroll around the video to maybe locate that. Anyway, let me continue applying the scale. Although, yeah, I think it's stream number 6. I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of how my eyelid looks right now. I don't know why. Just I cannot put my finger on it, but just don't feel right to me. So I'm in a little bit of a dilemma here, and I'm not sure what to do. Really don't know what to think about these scales. Maybe Arnold has an idea of what we need to do in order to improve our situation here, and what about these scales and stuff. I'm not sure. What do you say, Arnie? Are you there? Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm scratching my head. You should probably do this. You need to rig it with 5 kilograms of plastic explosive, and it'll make it look better for sure. All right, Arnold. Not everything has to be explosions. Come on, dude. Bullshit, and you know it. Everybody loves explosion. Everybody loves bullets, and everybody likes choppers and stuff like that. And you know it. Oh, okay, thanks, man. You nailed it. You found it. So Alexander Helsing, you can take the cue from DVZ TV New and check it out. Maybe it'll help you. Oh man, this is... I'm still not sure what to do with these scales. I'm not sure whether I like it. It just doesn't seem right to me at this stage. Just failed to see... I failed to see how... failed to see the good side of these scales right now. Not sure. And I'm sure as hell not going to, you know, rig it with 5 kilograms of plastic explosive. Yeah, I'm constantly thinking about the Shubili, and I'll probably have to resort to that. I tried to do something like my own thing here, but didn't quite turn out. So these smoothed scales sort of look better to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Compared to... even this looks a little bit better than when they're extremely defined the way they were before. I'm going to undo it, and hopefully you guys can chip in. So I really don't like this, but if I go on and apply some smooth brush, it sort of looks better. Yeah, that are my thoughts exactly. And also, you know, if we think about when the thing gets color, it might work. The pronounced ones, yeah, they were sort of too much. Yeah, I think I like this better, much better. Yeah, definitely. I guess we're on the same page here. Sorry. Need to take a drink. Alright, so let's try and let me try and keep up with these scales and try to transition from these smaller ones to, you know, to increase their size a little bit. So, you know, the thing with you know, creating these scales and these transitions and basically, you know, trying to create something cool. Sometimes you know, you just have to create it. Sometimes it's difficult to plan ahead, and you know, regardless of all the references and everything, you just need to, you know, do something and then you fail at it, and then do it again and fail again, and you know, maybe go over this a couple times before you know, nail it and make it look exactly as you've, you know, envisioned it, and or even better. So sometimes for me as well, it can become frustrating. You're working on something and you know, you just don't seem to be, you know, moving in like any positive direction, and you know, it can take a toll on your spirit and you know, your ambition and whatever. But I guess all these things are sort of normal. It's just, you know, a matter of not giving up and you know, keeping at it until you get, you know, somewhere with your model or whatever it is that you were doing. to I need to apply a little bit more of these smaller scales, and I'll have to do some manual tweaking of these scales in order to make it work a little bit better, hopefully, because I'm still not convinced with what I have right now. I still consider this a scale spam fest, that I like to call it. So hopefully we'll break through, because this is something that I was talking about earlier in one of the streams as well. Sometimes there is this phase in your work where you're trying to get somewhere, trying to get some good results, and obviously going in a direction, and to finish something. And on this journey, you start to, you should, logically you should be sort of satisfied, because you're working, the progress is obvious, scale by scale you're getting closer to finishing it, and yet you don't feel happy about it. You're it just, something doesn't seem right, you just don't feel it in your gut, that good feeling when sometimes everything goes as you planned, and even better, and you're really happy, and so I'm in this bad state of mind right now. I still don't feel it, still don't feel this happening for me, this model. But also what I wanted to say is you need to you need to keep pushing, you need to go beyond a certain point to be able to definitely tell that okay, so this is really not leading anywhere, and it'll be best if I just start over in terms me starting over, applying details, whether it be scales or whatever, just taking different route, taking different philosophy about it. But in order for me to be able to say, okay, so this is not really not going anywhere, I need to spend some more time on this model, and basically almost anything is salvageable as well. This is what I've learned from my own experience, and given enough time and enough patience and enough I just had it and I lost it. Basically, you shouldn't just give up so easily on something. So, if you spend enough time with something, it might come through in the end. And as hard as it may sound to you at the point where you're, having doubts and not really feeling the model, as hard as it may sound, it happens. sometimes you come through with it and you're not even sure where it came from, but you know, you pushed it through and it happened. The model turned out great, or you know, satisfying. Oh yeah, one other thing that I wanted to say. It's when you're reaching a mirror point, like the center of the model, it is best to turn off your mirror brush and do some of the scales like by hand to make, you know, to blur the mirror effect and to avoid you know, having to breaking up the illusion of, you know, a complete like a mirrored model. So, you know, sometimes all it takes is to turn in, you know, off the mirror feature right before you you know, connect the both sides to avoid and, you know, make it look artificial. You know, because perfect symmetry is in nature is not so common. Again, we were talking about perfect symmetry, and again, some organisms do have it, but most of the times we're all we all have these tiny imperfections in our, if you look at our faces and if you look at our bodies. Our eyes are, positioned on our faces in such a way that, they're not even, and our noses, things like that. So this is what I did just now. I turned off my mirror feature and I'm filling in these gaps without the mirror on, and some people go as far as creating the entire model without the mirror feature. I think that's crazy, but to each its own. Like, I'm gonna turn on the mirror real quickly and just to try and illustrate what happens when you have your mirror feature turned on, like all the time. So I don't know, it's just not also, when switching on and off this mirror feature, you need to be careful not to forget, when you switch it off, not to forget to turn it on when you switch to work on a side, because that happened to me like a million times. I would be like approaching the middle, and I would like switch off the mirror, and I would go back to work on some details on the side of the model, and spend like half an hour or an hour, and then I would like start turning around my model and just realize I haven't had my mirror on, and that's not nice. So try not to forget the mirror function, because there is if you forget it and lay down some modeling without it, there's this smart resymmetry button that I think it's that. Hold on. Yeah, this is the one. With which you can quickly transfer all details from one side to the other where you missed it. So it's not a catastrophic thing to forget about, but it's better if you're a little bit careful and you think about it. Anyway, I need to start introducing shoe bill elements into our sculpture here. So let's see. So the trick is to try and create a good transition from, from the shoe build type of thing to what we have right now with these scales and stuff. Now, as I said before, I'm at the odd place with my model right now. I'm not sure whether I like it. These scales that are, covering the most of the surface. So we'll see if I'll be able to, go over it in terms of, make it look better with these shoe bill scales. So it is still pretty rough, but as we progress, we'll polish and tweak our work. Because another thing that you need to think about is you shouldn't you shouldn't spend too much time trying to make these scales that I'm making right now. To try and spend so much time on them and polish them to make them look like finished scales immediately, because you're spending too much time and you're not sure whether this is going to work or not. So you should try and do it gradually, and try and as fast as you can cover a larger area with this type of philosophy about scales that we are taking right now. And slowly the model will either become worse, or it'll come through and it'll look better. So you shouldn't concentrate on like some small area and do all these like small details and try and tweak these scales to look perfect when we're just in this phase where we're not even certain whether this is going to work for us, or whether we'll have to start over. So it's important to manage your sculpting time, and just sort of it's a strategy actually, like a strategic game. You need to the goal is to win, and the only way we're going to win is if we Jesus, I'm not sure what the point was meant to be from the goal was to win, but yeah, the goal is to keep at it until your model is done. Whether that means starting all over, or just trying to polish what we have right now, I'm not sure, but obvious goal is to have a finished model and have it look good, be happy about it. But I'm not sure about you guys, but as soon as you start to break this, again, as I call it, scale spam fest, as soon as you start to break it up with introducing these larger patches of larger scales and things like that, it starts to look a little bit better, a little bit more acceptable. And okay, so let's just hope that it'll be better and better as we do it. So we're randomly, merging some of these scales. And hoping for the best, basically. Alright, so still not sure, but but it appears as though our model is kind of coming through a little bit. Obviously, this is still a very rough phase yet, and now I won't be doing much detailing here, like this area and below, because this is all going to be covered in some sort of fuzzy feather, so there's really no point in modeling something that won't be exposed or be seen in the final model, in the final version. So sometimes I have an urge to do it, to finish something, even though this is not never going to be seen because of this or that, and it draws me to continue working further from the area that is supposed to be seen. But it really, if you really think about it, like, it really doesn't make absolutely any sense, because it'll be exactly like if I would try and create like a brain or interior organs of this dinosaur, spend months or whatever time needed for something like that to be done, and model all these details, crazy details, go so far, and ultimately have this model finished and rendered for an illustration where these things are never going to be seen. So this is a different set of rules if your client or whoever you're working your model for requires some of these things to be modeled because of a specific reason. Of course, you're going to model it. But for instance, if you're doing a dinosaur for I don't know, a documentary, and they intend to show these dinosaurs without feather, without the integument for some reason, showing the anatomy of underlying anatomy of the excuse me, showing the underlying anatomy of you know, muscles and skin and stuff like that, then, you know, by all means you need to do it. Hey, yeah, uh, yeah. These scales just, you know, they pop up on their own, I guess. because I haven't done that in a while. Okay. You'll have to excuse me, guys. I need to go refill my bottle with the water. I'll be back in a sec.